Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lara, or Lara Likes Mascara, and it is time for yet another project pan series. Today's video is the introduction to my graveyard project pan for 2024. If you are unfamiliar with the graveyard project pan and what this means, basically it is a focus on the products in our collection that are the oldest and the most neglected. One of the category titles is collecting cobwebs. So, you sort of get the idea that these are items in your collection which you really should be focusing on, which I kind of try to incorporate that into my other project pans, but it is especially so for this project because sometimes, with my most recent project pan, I'm panning a product that just came into my collection not even 2 months ago, but it's just something that I feel like I can get it out soon. So regular project pan, not necessarily focusing on the older products in your collection, whereas graveyard project pan specifically focusing on the oldest products that you still have. And a lot of the time what ends up happening, at least for me, is it helps me discern which things actually shouldn't be in my collection anymore and aren't even worthy of being panned, but should be let go of entirely. And so in previous years, I'm pretty sure I've decluttered quite a few products because of this graveyard project pan. I will link the creator of this series down below. Her name is Emily and Max. Yeah, I love this project because if you know my channel, you know that my primary goal is to curate down my collection and get rid of products that are no longer serving me. And a lot of the time, those are the older products in my collection that I'm just hanging on because I can't quite get rid of them. For whatever reason, I can't seem to let go of them, but I am able to convince myself to pan them. So let's talk about the products that will be in this year's graveyard project pan. I do also want to clarify that everyone does this project slightly differently, but yeah, if you like this kind of thing, there are definitely other creators who embark on a similar project. Part of the reason it's called graveyard project pan, beyond the collecting cobwebs thing, is that it ends at the end of October. So what I generally do is start the project in May, June, and then finish end of October, beginning of November kind of thing. It's like a Halloween type project, and I like incorporating this into my overall panning because it's a short version of a project pan. I have other projects that span the entire length of the year, but this feels like a lot more manageable to incorporate. I don't think I would be able to do another full year project pan because there's already so many products that, again, I'm just constantly trying to get out of my collection and finish off. And there are a finite number of products that you can really focus on panning, right? So I have actually decided to do things a little bit differently this year. What I have done is actually turned my graveyard project pan series into my lipstick project pan. In 2023, I decided that I needed to get moving with the lipsticks in my collection because that is a category in my makeup collection that has the most products. It's ridiculous. I've got over 40 lip products and I just don't need that many products. So it was time to get some of them moving. So I had a real focus on lipsticks in 2023. I panned a ton of them. Some of this was because I was using them as blushes as well, and so I ended up not actually panning any blushes, which was the first time that has happened. The past 5 years, I have panned blushes every single year, at least one, but because I was really focusing on lipsticks, I just kind of neglected my blush collection. Long story short, now I'm doing a blush roulette. I can link that series here so that I can get more use out of my blushes because they have been neglected. But I also wanted to do a lipstick project pan series this year because last year it was so successful, but I didn't want it to be full year because I didn't want to run into the same problems that I had last year. And so I started it in, I think it was March, and I said I would only update every 4 months because I really didn't want this to be a focus project. I just wanted to let you know as things were going, but to not put that much pressure on myself. And I wanted to do graveyard project pan again this year, but I thought that would just be way too much stuff going on, way too many projects. We got the project pan, we got the plan to pan series, we got the lipstick project pan, we got the graveyard project pan, we got the blush roulette. It's too much. It's already 4 projects is already too much, but it's manageable, doable. So I am making this graveyard project pan lipstick project pan edition, if that makes sense. So instead, I will just update you on my lipstick project pan as my Graveyard Project Pan series, and hopefully that works for you. This just makes sense because, again, this is really the part of my collection that I need to focus the most on, and it doesn't make sense for me to try to pan my, I don't know, foundation collection because I just don't have that many. Lipsticks is what I need to focus on. So if you're not a big lip fan, I'm sorry, but I gotta do what works for me and my collection. And I already have some updates. I had said that I wouldn't update for 4 months. This is like 2 months later, but because it's Graveyard Project Pan, I feel like that's fine. So I will only update this every 2 months, not every month. That feels like too much. So you can look forward to future updates, probably beginning of August-ish. And yeah, I think for me that feels like the right frequency. So all that preamble, let's talk about the products. So as usual, I'm going to start with the most exciting part first, which is the empties. It is a little bit weird starting a new project with empties. Like usually the first Graveyard Project Pan update, I would just introduce you to the products and not have any actual progress to announce. But if you did miss the first video of this Lipstick Project Pan series, then check that out there so you can actually see a comparison. So this is more like the second video, but we actually already have 2 empties. Yes, I know. Now, the majority of the lipsticks were red lipsticks because you might have noticed that last year my focus was on pink lip products because I don't love pink, and I realized I had too many of those, so I wanted to move them out. This year, I realized that I have too many reds, and I do like reds more than pink, but they're just kind of intimidating to reach for. I have to put a little more effort into it, and so I want to move some of those reds out. But these were the 2 that were not reds. These are the Revlon Lip Butters in Wild Watermelon and Red Velvet. If you have been on beauty YouTube since high school, you will recognize these. But that gives you a sense of how long I've had these. It's not great. It's kind of shameful. But at long last, I have finished both of these. I think I'm going to depot them into another container. I'm not positive, but I'm like 80-90% leaning towards doing that because there is quite a bit of product left in there. That will be on my YouTube Shorts or TikTok at some point if I decide to do it. But yeah, it was quite a journey with both of these. I have talked about them in other videos. In my most recent Plant a Pan update, I talked about how I felt about these. It's been a real journey. I've been through phases of loving them. I've been through phases of hating them. As one does. That's just what happens when you embark on a Project Pan journey. You spend a lot of time with your products and you have a mix of emotions towards them. But I am glad that I finished these rather than decluttering them, and I'm just glad that they are out of my life for now. And actually, I have another announcement. I also, with this one, I don't know if I should count it as an empty, but this is the Kiko Milano Double Match Lipstick and Lip Liner. The other end, like it dried up, it fell out, there's nothing in there, so I was just focusing on the lipstick end, and we're at the point now I can't wind it up anymore, and I'm just like trying to get some out on my lips, but there's like nothing left. I do have a suspicion that there's a lot of product still left in there, so I will be digging this one out because I like it a lot more than these at least, and this is excellent as a blush, so I do want to use the product even if it's, you know, too difficult to use on my lips because it's just gonna like smudge everywhere and I don't love getting stuff on my fingers. I wouldn't mind trying this as a blush because I have loved it as a blush so much in the past, so this one for sure I'm going to be digging into, but you know, I don't know how much product is in there. So I am calling this done with the caveat that like it's kind of not done. And the next update with all of these, I'll let you know if they're like officially done, if the product is in some of my alternate containers and how we are doing with that. Hopefully within 2 months time, they will be completely done, but who's to say? It's hard to know. The next thing is a lip gloss. This is from Tower 28. I'm actually going to apply a little bit of this right now. I've said this before, it is a little bit goopy. Don't love that. I actually don't like this at all. I think it looks nice on top of red lipsticks. It's glossy, but I don't like the flavor. Yeah, I know people are like, oh, the Tower 28 lip gloss is like, even if you don't like lip glosses, you will like this. I'm like, no, like this is this is exactly how I think of lip gloss. It's thick, it's goopy, it feels weird. I just don't, I always feel like I'm getting it on my teeth. Anyways, I've definitely used up quite a bit of this since the last update, so that is something. I'm happy about that. I still haven't decided if I should declutter it or not, because I don't like it that much, but I've never panned a lip gloss before and I don't have very many, and it oomphs up any red lipstick I'm already wearing, so that's kind of why I've held on to it. And also because, you know, it's just so satisfying seeing the progress. Like, I know it's the same with other lipsticks, you can see how much is left, right? Like how much of the lipstick, but there's something satisfying about a clear product. Like, you don't even have to open it up and you can see how much is left, and like just standing it up, I can observe that. So I will insert pictures to compare how much of this I have used. I think I have made decent progress, but I don't know. I'm hoping to be done this by the next update. I'm hoping 2 more months is all it will take to finish this up, and hopefully, since I'm no longer focusing on these two, that means that I will be able to focus on this one. But I don't know, maybe I'll just get tired of it, tired of the feel, tired of the scent, and decide to declutter it. I'm not sure. I think you guys are gonna say get rid of it, but I always tend to be more generous with products than my audience is. Ooh, and I forgot to say that with this lip product, I was using this as a lipstick for quite a few nights out. And I'm glad that I did that, because with a lot of these, I tend to only wear them at home, but this is, I like this so much that I actually did wear it at parties and whatnot. So I'm trying to do that more. Let's do some measuring. Obviously, there's nothing left in these, but still worth measuring. Okay, so I did mark down Revlon lip butter in 2 different places. Unfortunately, I did not clarify which one was which. I just said lip butter. That was great. Okay, well, if it's this one, there was, yeah, quite a bit of product. Can you see that line there? I mean, not like a huge amount, but a good 4 millimeters maybe. So 4 millimeters progress on one, not sure which one, and the other one we have just a bit less, I think, maybe 3 millimeters on that one. I need a new notebook. I know that, I do, and yet here we are. And then the Kiko one, there we go, Kiko red, that's us, that's what we want. Wow, I really did not have much left. There you go. So you can see that even just a little bit of use makes all the difference. I really, with a lot of these, I don't have to work that hard to finish them off from month to month. I don't know if that's helpful if you find project panning intimidating, because you're like, oh my god, I have this whole lipstick I have to finish. Yeah, but start with products that are almost done. That's what I do. And then it's easier. So take the easy route. The next product, this is the one that I think will be finished next. So by next update, this will be done, and I'm hoping to have it done before 2 months, but you know, we will see. I don't really wear it out of the house, so that makes things difficult. It's so smudgy. Like, I don't even want to mark it for you here because it's going to get literally everywhere. But this is from NYX, and I think I have a decent amount of progress on this one, so let's check that as well. I do like the color, and when I wear it in YouTube videos, people are like, wow, that looks so nice on you. And I'm like, yeah, the color is nice. Everything else about it is not nice. Oh, okay, that's actually quite disappointing. They literally have made no progress. I'm gonna blame the Revlon lip butters for that. Can you see that there? See? Because I was focusing on them so much, but I really thought that, like, I did use it a bit. Like, even this past week, I used it at least 4 times. So I'm gonna have to get more vigorous with that. Feeling in a bit of a silly mood, can you tell? But yeah, this one will be done by next time, okay? Mark my words. I don't think I mentioned, but I will be bringing 1 new product in this update, because obviously so many of these I finished, and I want to keep things a little interesting. Like, I don't want to overwhelm myself by having 11 different lipsticks to pan, but I don't want to have just like 3. That's not enough. So I'm bringing 1 new one in, but you will have seen it before. So the final one that I talked about in my last update is this NARS Lippy. This is in the shade Cruella, and I had 2 of these. There was Rakujian and Cruella. Rakujian I found a lot easier to finish because it was a light pink shade. It was great as a blush. This is actually what I'm wearing as blush today. I mean, I topped it off with a powder blush as well, so you can't really tell, but it is a tricky one to use as blush because it is so deep. Like, it's just a lot of red, so I really need to like blend it out, and then I use it with a brush, and then I put it on my cheeks. So it's easy to get a bit overwhelmed with the shade. This was actually part of a birthday gift from Sephora. I could probably check how many years ago if I wanted to, but I don't feel like I need to know that information because it was so long ago. Which of these things were not... Okay, I actually didn't say this. Tower 28 lip gloss. Shauna decluttered this to me, so it's not that old, but because it's like a clean beauty item, it expires a lot faster. So in regular years, this is probably like not even 3 years old. In clean beauty years, this is like 9 years old. So I'm just going to consider this as a Graveyard Project Pan item purely because of that. It ages differently. I'm not even making that up. These other ones, a decade probably. This one, probably not a decade. Maybe like 2017 or something like that. I don't know. Not great. Still smells fine. Still performs the same. But, you know, with these things, we still like to get them out. So let's see how we are doing on here. Oh, okay, a little bit of progress. I can mark that. Oh, no, I just marked Cruella. That was my bad. Okay, so Cruella, there's literally no progress. Can you see how little progress I've made on this one? I didn't realize, I really thought I'd been working on this one, but the entire time that I've been panning it, which included part of last year, really only had a couple of millimeters. So that is not great. After this is going to be the main one that I'm going to be focusing on, and I think it will be helpful if I use it as blush sometimes. Not all the time, because again, as I said, that is the issue that I ran into last year, but sometimes, like once a week, that would probably be enough to see progress on this. It's hard to see progress on it because it's so dark, and so you need just a little bit, but I do want to finish this up by the end of 2024. I think this is probably going to be the hardest one to finish out of all of these. So I have the least hope in this one, but I still need to put the effort in. So those are all of the products that were in my lipstick project pan from the last update, but we do have one more product that I'm incorporating this time, you know, because I want enough. And also, it is definitely a Graveyard Project Pan item. This is one of the oldest products in my collection, but you wouldn't know it because of how well it's withstood both time. Like, it's still great as a product. It hasn't changed at all, but also in terms of my preferences. Most of the things in my collection that I have from like way before I started my Makeup No Buy, I don't like them anymore because my preferences have changed so much. Like most of these, I mean, the lip butters, the formula is still great, but these shades, I don't love the shades. But this one, this is the NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream in Istanbul. This is one of the few products I have from back in the day that I still enjoy wearing. I don't have to force myself to wear. It is, to this day, one of my favorite lip products. It is just such a nice pink. The formula is so nice and creamy. Oh, does that mean that there's not that much left? I think it's just a beautiful shade. I was wearing this yesterday at a wedding. Like, it's just one of my favorites, but I've had it for so long and it keeps going in and out of project pans, even lipstick project pans. Like last year, my lipstick project pan, I have now finished everything from that. Now that this is done, this was the final product that I had not finished from last year's lipstick project pan. Now that I've done this is the only thing that is not finished from then. So I felt like it was appropriate to incorporate it into this year's Graveyard Project Pan / lipstick project pan, and that is why I'm going to be working on this. I'm not hate panning it, so I'm not going to be using it at home. I'm only using it when I'm out and about because I really do love it. I want to savor it, but I do want to actually use it and finish it up. So that is it. This is the new product, and so with this, we actually only have, we've got 4 main products in this lipstick project pan / Graveyard Project Pan, but we've also got these 3 that are technically finished, but I think I will still be providing you updates because I think I will be depotting these into other containers and then trying to use that. We'll see how it goes. So 7 in total, but really 4 focus products. And that doesn't seem like very many, but you know, often it's better to have fewer products, particularly when they're all the same type. Like at least with my Project Pan series, I've got foundation, blush, bronzer, mascara, you know, like I will use all of those in any given day. I'm not going to be using 4 lip products to do my makeup in the morning. Like I might be able to use all of these over the course of the day, but it's a lot harder to pan 4 products that are all the the same thing, that belong on the same place on your face. You know what I mean? So let me know what you think. When I finish some of these, should I incorporate new things into the Graveyard Project pan so it's not only like 2 or 3 products, or should I just be focused on a few select products? I've never done that before. I've always had at least like 7 products in a project pan series. But that is it for today's video. If you are embarking on your own Graveyard Project pan, do let me know. I would love to hear. Let me know what you think of doing a lipstick project pan as Graveyard Project pan, and if you enjoy my general project pan content. That is it for today. Thanks so much for watching, and I will talk to you next week. Bye!